Do you want to make a prop hunt map just like this? Watch until the end to find out how. First, I'll show you how to pick the right map, then how to create your own prop hunt map to play with friends. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment for what tutorial you want next. First, you need to pick what style your prop hunt map will be. You can either build it from scratch or use prefabs and galleries to make it. If you're building from scratch, I would recommend choosing one of the blank grid islands. But if you want a region themed prop hunt, something like winter or grassy or desert, you can choose whatever starter island fits your theme. Once you've picked an island, load in and start building your map. You can build with whatever you want, but I would recommend mainly using things from the gallery section and only a little bit from the prefab section. But you do what you like the best and what fits your theme the best. For this tutorial, I've just used the military behemoth prefab and some props from the military galleries so that the props have stuff to choose and hide as, which I would recommend you doing. Make sure you place down a lot of things that the props can turn into. But for your map, I would suggest that you make most of the map without prefabs. Once you've got your map built and sorted, place down these devices: 2 player spawners, a trigger, timer, HUD message device, barrier device, and 2 team settings and inventory device. All of these devices are the only ones you'll need to make this map. Now, once you've placed all of these devices down, make sure that you've made space in your map for the seekers to be held until they are released, just like how it is in this clip. I would recommend this space being bigger and maybe have some interactive things for the seekers to do until they're released. I've just kept it bare so it's more easy to understand for the tutorial. Once you've got this spot made out, decide whether you want a wall to disappear or a barrier to disable to release the seekers. If you want a wall to disappear, get a prop manipulator device and place it on a singular wall that you want to disappear. No need to change any settings for now. If you do want to use a barrier device instead, place it down in the middle of the area that you want the seekers to be held. Then, open it up and go into all settings. Change the barrier material to whatever you want, but I would recommend something that the seekers can't look out of and see the props running around and hiding. Something like brick, for example. Next, change the zone shape to hollow box. This is very important. Barrier depth, width, and height to whatever size your area is. Mine is just 2 tiles in width and length, but only 1 in height. Once you've done these settings, go to your timer device that you placed down earlier and go to all options. Then, change duration to how long you want until the seekers are released from the game start. I would recommend somewhere from 40 to 60 seconds, but mine is just 5 seconds for this tutorial. Next, change start at game start to on, can interact to no, and timer running text to something like seekers released in. This text is what will be shown while the timer is counting down on the top of the player's screen. Then make sure to go put this timer where the rest of your other devices are, as it can be seen by players. Then, if you want a message to be shown saying something like seekers released once the timer has finished, place down a HUD message device and go to all options. Once there, change the message to something like seekers released. You can also customize how this message looks. To do this, go to the placement setting. I recommend top center and also to change the size to a large number. Mine is 25. This large size of text is so the message can be easily seen by players. Now, to tie all of these devices that you've just placed together through the functions and events, get a trigger device and place it down. First, in all settings, put visible in game to off, triggered by player, off, triggered by vehicles, off, triggered by sequences, off, triggered by water, off, trigger VFX and SFX to off. Next, scroll to functions and put trigger when receiving from, timer device on success. And then events, put on triggered, send event to, barrier device disabled, as well as HUD message device show. If you are using a prop manipulator to get walls to disappear and release the seekers, go into the prop manipulator that you previously placed. From here, go across to functions and change hide props when receiving from to timer device on success. Then copy this prop manipulator device and paste it on the rest of the walls that you want to disappear. Now I'll show you how to set up the spawning mechanics and loot for both teams. To do this, go to one of your team settings and inventory devices. Open it up and go into all settings. Change team name to props, team, put it to 1, start with pickaxe, no. If you want props to go to the seekers team after they die, you can also put the setting after last spawn, go to team 2, as this is what the seekers team will be. Once you've copied these settings down, you can get the Prop-o-matic gun from the items tab and get it into your inventory, then drop it into the team settings and inventory device. Next, go to the other team settings and inventory device you placed. Then, open it up and go into all settings. All you have to change is the team name to seekers and set the team to 2. Then, you can also change things like infinite ammo, or you can give them more ammo from the ammo reservable option. You could also turn off sprinting if you want the seekers to be a bit of at a disadvantage so they can't just chase the props down. You can change these settings to whatever you want, but I would recommend giving them just a bit more ammo in case they miss their shots. Then, get whatever loadout you want the seekers to have and drop it into the team settings and inventory device. I've chosen to give them 3 boogie bombs and the shadow tracker pistol. Next up, how to do the spawning mechanics for each team. But first, if this video has helped so far, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment for what tutorial you want next. Now, to do the spawning mechanics, go to one of the player spawner devices that you placed down earlier. From here, go into the all settings and change player team to 1, visible in game to off, then copy this device and place it all around your map where you want the props to spawn. Make sure to place enough spawners to fit everyone that will be in your map. For example, if your map is for 16 players, place down 16 player spawners. Then, go to your other player spawner you placed before. Bring it into the area that you have previously made for the seekers to be held. Then, go into all settings, and since this will be for the seekers, change the player team to 2 and visible in game to off. But, unlike the props team spawners, do not place 16. Only place the amount of seekers that you want in a round. For example, if you want 4 seekers per round, only place down 4 player spawn pads for team 2. Just before I show you the island settings, if you want to customize what players can do while disguised as a prop, place down the Prop-o-matic manager. In this device, you can customize things like the ping frequency, the amount of health the props will have, and many other things that you can change. Now, for the island settings, open them up and first go to the mode tab. Under the structure section, change the max players to the amount that you want in your map, but I would recommend 16. Next, change teams to 2, total rounds to however many you want, I just have 5. Next, scroll down to the spawning section and change the spawn limit to 1. Then, scroll down to the elimination section and change down but not out to off. After this, go down to the spectating section and change default spectate behavior to teammates. The reason I have changed this setting from all players to teammates is because if a prop player dies, they can't tell their teammates where the hunters are through spectating, which would give them an unfair advantage. Next, scroll down to the round tab. Here, you can dictate how long the rounds in your map are. I would recommend anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, just to make sure that your map is still engaging, because if it was any longer, players would get bored. Next, go to the player tab. From here, scroll down to the build mode section. Put allow building to none. Then, go to the equipment section and put start with pickaxe to no. This setting means that players in both Seekers and Props team will have no pickaxes. Then, change the environment damage to off and enable fire to no. And that's how you make a prop hunt map in Fortnite Creative. If this video helped, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment for what tutorial you want next.